We are here with Damien Jurado, who just performed at the eMusic offices. Damien, thanks for coming by. And 3 quick questions that we're going to ask you. Thanks for taking the time to talk. The first thing that I wanted to ask about is the new record, Maraqopa, concerns kind of a land that you came up with. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about how that concept developed.
Yeah, Maraqopa is based, the entire record actually was based on a dream I had where the character in the record is based on a guy I had a dream about where he's a famous musician. He's fictitious, and he'd be like this, about as famous as, I don't know, like Justin Bieber type famous. I mean, he's famous. Everybody knows this guy is, and he decides that one day he's gonna disappear like that and really tell anybody where he's gonna go. And he, in the dream, I'm seeing him like leave all his possessions, and he leaves the house with nothing, not his ID, nothing, like no guitar, and just gets in the car and just drives with no destination and comes upon this town in the middle of nowhere called Maraqopa. And while he's there, he's approached by these townspeople that say, like, we know why you're here. You're looking for love. And he's like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. He's like, they're like, you're lost and you need to find yourself. And you need to find out what love is. And they basically tell him, like, you're not going to find it here, but you're going to, prepare yourself for this journey that you're going to be on. The town called Maraqopa, he eventually dies and never does find it out until he's dying.
So that's a happy ending then, in other words.
Yeah, I mean, it's a happy ending. I mean, he does find out, but he realizes that, like, it's too late. He's wasted his life, and,
sure,
being selfish, whatever. But it's crazy, and then, like, while he's away, like, the tabloids and the news, it's like national news.
Yeah.
I mean, if you thought about it, like, if Justin Bieber just disappeared off the face of the earth, it would be headlines all over the world. Something that big.
It'd be a very busy day on the internet.
Yeah, totally.
Probably for a few months.
So that's kind of what it was like. But there's not really, I mean, the dream was interesting because there wasn't really, I couldn't tell what year it was. It looked like anywhere from the mid-70s to now, So it was a very vivid dream. I remember I woke up in the dream and I just wrote down the word Maraqopa as it was spelled, as I saw it in the dream. That was it. And then I just started writing songs based on the dream.
As a musician yourself, is there something about that concept of disappearing or going off the grid that you find interesting, something you've ever entertained?
Have I entertained it?
Yeah.
Sure. I think I have. I think that's why I have definitely given thought about, like, not disappearing. I mean, I would never, like, go off the grid or, like, abandon my family or my friends, I would never do that. But sure, there have been times where I've thought about, like, just quitting music. I don't know why, but I don't know what the hell I would do. I don't know what I would do besides music.
You can paint.
I could paint. That's true. So yeah.
I was asking because when I first kind of heard what the record was about, one of the things that it kind of indicated or brought out to me was maybe kind of a hesitant relationship with the concept of fame or the concept of kind of having fans. And I know that can be kind of a push-pull for some artists. I didn't know how much that played into it.
Yeah. No, it's not. On my level, I mean, I don't have to deal with that much stuff. But I don't know. It's just kind of weird because I think I'm fascinated by, because you hear stories all the time about people who just disappear and they don't know where they're at. There's no explanation. There's no sign of foul play. We're talking about, like, people who have had great lives, nice family situations, good, church-going, American, voting people, and they just disappear off the face of the earth. They just give up, and I think I've always been fascinated by that. So I think that's probably what influenced the dream. Sure. So, but I would never do it. I don't think I would. I would hope not.
We'll check in again in 5 years.
Yeah, or maybe a year.
The last thing I wanted to do is we have this thing where we ask artists the question posed to the New York Times ethicist to see how they respond. So we're going to read you the question from this week's ethicist.
Okay.
And you tell me, you give advice to the person who wrote it.
Okay.
And the person writes, my fiance and I went to a Death Cab for Cutie concert at the Beacon Theater. We had first row seats in the balcony. We typically stand at concerts to sing and dance along, but we didn't because no one else in our section was interested in doing that sort of thing. During the encore, we decided to stand for the last 5 songs, and we were immediately chastised by several people behind us who told us to sit down. Were we wrong to stand?
No, you were wrong to stand. Number 1, you live in America, you don't live in North Korea. Number 2, it's music. And I would have turned around and been like, this is rock and roll. Like, you want to sit down, then you should just bring a book or go to a library or stay at home and watch it. I mean, there's just certain things that you can, you know, I don't know, I don't think that there should be any rules in music. I mean, I think so long as, I don't know, maybe not. I mean, it's weird because, like, I just talk to myself, like, unless someone gets hurt. But in reality, rock and roll is dangerous.
Sure.
Right? I mean,
It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. I mean, I think that's one of the things I liked about rock and roll. I mean, they weren't being dangerous, obviously, by standing.
They were in the balcony, though.
They were in the balcony, they could have fallen over.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I think I would have just turned around and just been like, you know what, this is rock and roll. Like, I want to stand up, and if you don't like it, then you can go somewhere else, you know? I mean,
Do you have issues with people, like, videoing your shows or taking a lot of, like, iPhone photos and things?
no, I don't care about that. I mean, I don't care. And the thing about the music thing with my thing, I've always said, like, what I do is not mine. I've always viewed it that way. As soon as it leaves my guitar or mouth or whatever, it's no longer mine. It belongs to everybody else. I've always seen myself as just a vessel, or a cup, if you will, you know? One that just delivers or holds something. It's not important to, like, the coffee. Coffee is the most important thing that you're drinking. I mean, right? If that's what you're going for.
Right.
It's not really the cup, you know? So that's kind of how I felt, or see it, like me, my role. So, no, they can do whatever they want, and they can bootleg it. I mean, I don't care. I mean, the label might get bummed at me for saying that, but it's true. I think that, I mean, obviously, I have a family I support, you know, I mean, but I mean, I don't know. It's a weird line, you know, it's a weird line. I mean, but I've never seen my music as my own, you know, because I think I've always thought it comes from somewhere else out there, and I was just lucky enough to get it, and I'm just giving it out. So, yeah.
Well, we're lucky enough to get it, too. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Damien Jurado at eMusic.